I got a little something special for y'all today. This is shout out to Mike. Don't this sound just like him? It sounds just like him, don't it? But nah, we back. Episode 3, Who's Got Nxt podcast, man. We got some topics for y'all today. A lot of sad things happening in the league, across the world. Yet and still, we're here. I want to say, Grandmama, I got on him. He said he gonna stop cussing for you. He said he gonna stop cussing for you. He ain't say that. Anywho,
he almost made me curse as soon as he did the little voice sound.
You talking about this?
Yeah, that shit.
All right, y'all. So the generational debate for today, I think it's a no-brainer, but apparently even my mom doesn't see where I'm coming from. Is Shawn Kemp, Supersonics legend, super freak, no Diddy, hella athletic versus Zion Williamson. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll let you take the floor first.
It's not no self-explanatory. Shawn Kemp, Rain Man, say his name right. Big Dog. What was it? 14, 15 points a game.
Okay.
8 rebounds.
Okay.
Would have had 2 chips if it wasn't for Jordan.
No, aren't you the one that we don't give credit for almost? Right? Or is that somebody else? Is that him? That must be him.
Him and that fucking button. Granny, he making me do it. He's making me do it, Granny. But almost to Jordan.
So?
No. Come on, man.
Okay, so LeBron was almost to KD and them.
No.
Yeah.
Is KD is nowhere near Jordan.
But KD and Steph, that's crazy.
Come on.
That's not what we're here for today.
Come on.
He didn't win. Shawn Kemp didn't win in the conversation. He didn't win, right? 14 to 8 and I would say. This is where, to me, it's not really a conversation. I have the stats pulled up for you guys, so I'm not just lying. We'll go Shawn Kemp's best year of his career, numbers-wise, okay?
22.
20 and a half points a night, 9.2 rebounds. We'll give him 20 and 10. That's smooth, right? No argument. That's good numbers. Zion's rookie campaign, 22 and a half and 6. I don't really understand.
What you mean?
As a rookie, he averaged 22 and a half.
So you're a numbers guy, right?
100%.
So he averaged 22 points. How many points a game his team averaged? What? 100?
I'm not.
Oh, 120.
Sure. So, yeah, probably somewhere around there.
All right. So do the average of his Zion's 22 to the one. How many points a game? 110.
Sure, we'll say 110. He get around the fifth.
All right. And Shawn Kemp's 20 points a game.
Again, I want to preface by
to
saying
90.
Again, I want to preface by saying for all of you guys, that was Shawn Kemp's best year versus Zion's rookie year. The problem with Zion is he can't stay on the court. When he's on the court,
now he gonna give me the antics. Come on,
it's
man.
not antics when he's on the court.
Because you about to go one way on Kemp, and then you're gonna try to go ahead.
Not really. I'm looking at the numbers when Zion's on the court. So for all of you guys out there that really watch hoops, the play-in game against the Lakers last year, that boy dropped 40. Am I lying?
One game.
That's who he is. Again, we're talking about one game. He played 30 games this year. That's less than half the season. In those 30, 25 and 7.
That's his problem. If the motherfucker,
No, he can't stay on the court. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But when he's on the court, he better than Shawn Kemp.
It ain't no win. Shawn Kemp played, beat up, hurt fingers, broke fingers, and all that. Zion need to get his ass in shape so he can stay on the court.
100%. He has off the court issues.
Motherfuckers making
when he's on the court
and 2 cheeseburgers away. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, but when he's on the court,
that's win. Stop eating them fucking cheeseburgers. That's why Shawn Kemp is better. And then hold on, you look. This the new generation too. Everybody gets out of Zion's way when he comes and dunks.
Yeah, you would too.
Go look at Shawn Kemp highlights.
Yeah, they're similar in that way.
No, not no similar. Yeah. Dudes is jumping. It's body to body.
For sure.
He putting his nuts on dudes' heads and all that. He was violating dudes.
Okay.
That's why you don't know Shawn Kemp was violating.
No, I know. And then a finger point. I know.
And taking dudes with him, at that size. Zion to give you like a little spark and then fizzle. And you be like, damn, I don't see this nigga for 30 games.
Again, availability, I'm with you. Shawn Kemp is more available. When they're on the court, it's not really a question.
What do you mean? Question how? Like talent, skill?
One of them gives you 25 a night. The other one gave you 20 in his best year.
Yeah, when he was busting ass in a way more physical game. Yo, do you know what 20 points in the 90s is equivalent to playing right now?
Again, that was his best. You know, he averaged 20 points one season, right? One. You can look it up for yourself.
Bro, do you realize what the rest was 17, 16, 18?
Which is smooth, but Zion's a 25.
No, not smooth. Forceful.
Smooth. Not his game smooth. I'm saying 16 tonight, that's smooth. It ain't nothing crazy.
But those are 16 no freaky power points. Know what I'm saying? Because, listen, Shawn Kemp had to bang to get his buckets. Zion Euro stepping, shooting fadeaways and shit.
That's not really his game.
It's a different 20 and a different 25.
It's not really his game, though. Zion is get to the basket. You can't stay in front of me.
Bro.
I'm lying?
If that was the case, he'll be averaging 30.
That's what I'm saying. When he's on the court.
No, come on, bro.
Again, his best year, Shawn Kemp's best year was 20-9.
Bro,
Zion best year 27.
Zion been in the league, what, 5 years?
Yeah, he's never averaged less than 22. He's just not on the court.
He played 2 years out of 5 with all them games he missed?
Yeah, again, I can admit he don't be on the court.
This nigga got the freshest legs in the league. He better have 25. Fuck out of here. He still ain't putting on the way Shawn Kemp was. I don't think so.
That's just not true.
I'm talking about dunking on people, violating
on people, sure. But the natural athleticism in and of itself, Zion is different, bro. He went number 1 for a reason out of college. Again, I'm not saying he lived up to it per se, but who he is when he's on the court, he's Zion Williamson. People tend to forget because he doesn't play. It's the same thing with Kawhi Leonard from a standpoint. I'm not saying it's Kawhi, but when Kawhi was leaving San Antonio, people forgot who he was. People are like, he can't stay healthy. 1 year in Toronto, he got a chip. I'm not saying Zion's on that level, but it's the same effect as far as people tend to forget who he is because he doesn't play. When he plays, again, 40 a night in the play-in game. Obviously, he lost that game because he got hurt. When he playing, he playing.
See, but that's the difference, though. At that point in his career, and this point in his, Shawn Kemp wasn't on no play-in team. He was on the number 1 team in the West.
So Zion got a Gary Payton?
He had, yeah.
Who?
Well, scoring-wise.
That's not what I asked. Who was his Gary Payton? Who is his Hall of Fame point guard?
It ain't Hall of Fame. I'm talking about scoring-wise, bucket-wise, C.J. McCollum.
You can't compare those two players.
Look at CJ probably got better numbers than fucking Gary Payton. Fuck you,
two different players. Bro.
See, here go analytical guy. There you go. Look at their fucking numbers.
Two different players.
I'm just saying. Look at their numbers.
They don't play the same brand of. That's the whole point. We're comparing Shawn Kemp and Zion because they're similar. Gary Payton and CJ McCollum are two different people. One of them is in the Hall of Fame, first ballot. The other one, nice All-Star. They're not the same person.
He scores though. That's all I said.
Yeah, he's a scorer.
Right.
He ain't Gary Payton.
But anyway, Shawn Kemp to me, his game is better. Zion, you still don't know what he's gonna do.
Okay, so let me ask you this: in your estimation, genuinely, what does Zion have to do to get better than Shawn Kemp that he's not already doing? What more does he have to add to his game that you could be like, all right, you know what, you better than Shawn?
He can't do it.
He can't get better. See, now you're being close-minded.
Because it's not.
There's nothing he can do.
See, look, this is what I'm saying, Bryce. Is not. It's just, you know what? The same difference in Zion and Shawn Kemp is the same difference in LeBron and Jordan.
Okay, so what I'm asking you, again, I hear what you're saying. Hypothetically, right, if Zion went out, he averaged 30 for the next 10 years and won 10 championships in a row, obviously we're going to say he's better than Shawn Kemp. I'm asking you, what does he have to do realistically to be better than Shawn Kemp?
I just told you. You ain't listen.
You said there's nothing he can do.
I said it's the same thing like LeBron and Jordan. LeBron is a nice guy, right?
There you go again. I don't understand why you think.
Because I gotta bring LeBron in this.
I don't understand why you think somebody's attitude affects their ability to play basketball.
Any chance I get to shoot LeBron, I'm shooting him. But anyway, look, it is though. It is a difference because Shawn Kemp, he got that Jordan wear, that dog wear. I'm gonna violate you. Zion don't have that.
Yes, he does. He just doesn't play.
Bro, I never saw Zion come out and like try to annihilate somebody.
So then why do you think he had 40 against the Lakers that play-in game? If that wasn't his mentality.
That was desperation.
It's the same dog mentality.
No, because if he was a dog, he wouldn't have been in the desperate moment like that.
That's not how that works.
If he was playing like a dog all year, he wouldn't have been in that
situation.
It's
not that he does play like a dog all year. He just doesn't play all year. Every game that Zion plays, he's 25 a night.
But nah, he ain't a dog though.
He is.
I understand that, but he's the biggest, he's the strongest, and he's the fastest. And that don't show up on the court.
It does. He does not show up on the court.
Bro, even when he plays, you'll get 1 or 2 games. That's him type of dude. That's not no, is like he'll give you this. He on some Jordan Poole shit. Give you some.
Nah.
Give you a little bit.
Absolutely not. I love Jordan Poole more than I miss with Zion actually, but they're not on the same. Absolutely.
Zion just he not a dog, bro. He's not gonna like dunk on you and stomp on your chest and walk away. You know he gonna help you up when he knock you down.
Yeah, after he just gave you 30.
But that's what I'm saying. That's nice shit, man.
All right, so you can have Shawn Kemp giving you 16 and he not gonna help you up, and I'll take Zion giving you 30 and helping you up. That's what.
No. Shawn Kemp probably around 8 a year where they was really fucking shit up. He was probably at 20.
I just told
19,
you. I just told you he had 1 year over 20. I just told you that.
20 or 19.
Okay,
like
Zion,
20 or 19.
25 or 26.
All right, cool. But I bet you Shawn Kemp's points was way more impactful and way more forceful. I bet you at the end of the game, Shawn Kemp a lot of times is gonna have the ball in his hands. Zion won't.
I'm just telling you, Shawn Kemp's best year with Seattle, he had averaged 19.6 points.
What year was it?
1995 through 96.
Year they lost to the Bulls in the finals.
No, that's not.
He averaged 11.4 rebounds and then 2.2 assists.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I know, per usual.
No. I had to think about the year real quick. That was when Jordan came back. They played against GP.
Yep, and I just said that.
That was the Kamikazes. Yeah.
Good year.
You ain't
Ain't no Zion.
but no. So that's it. Look, that's a championship year. If you didn't run up against the best man to ever touch the ball, you would have had a champion.
Can't do that because you're the same person that doesn't get participation trophies. You can't pick and choose.
Because this nigga is losing.
Can't pick and
He's
choose.
losing to people that Jordan would never lose to.
I promise you, if Michael Jordan was on the 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers, no Kyrie, a wash JR, wash Kevin Love, and he played against Steph, KD, Clay, Dre, he's losing too.
Nah.
Oh my, you're just being delusional now. That's no shade at Jordan at all. I'm sure Jordan would have averaged 35 that series. I'm sure he would have.
35.
Yeah. Minimum.
That he would have averaged 45 against Golden State.
You want to know the perfect example? In 87, I believe it was. If I'm wrong on the year, my bad. They played the Celtics. Jordan dropped what, 62? Who won the game?
Boston.
How is it any different? Because Jordan didn't have the requisite help because he played a Bird, a McHale, a
No,
Parrish.
no, it wasn't that. No.
It wasn't.
It was a system. It was a system.
62, and he lost the game. You think that has to do with the system or the fact that his teammates didn't help him?
Yeah, it's not. See, look, that's the difference. Look, that's the difference in coaching. You're not gonna listen. That's the difference.
Yeah,
in
they didn't
coaching.
have Phil Jackson yet.
But it's not just Phil Jackson. It's a system. When teams play and stay within the system, you'll get to see people really like key in and flourish on their roles and shit. That triangle made him a killer, man.
Right. And what I'm saying is the 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers with no Kyrie Irving,
Jordan would've killed.
That's again, he killed when he dropped 62, he still lost the game. That's what I'm saying.
But he didn't have the players on that Cleveland team though.
Neither did LeBron. Kyrie was not there anymore. That's your guy. You think Kyrie's the closer.
Listen, if you look at Jordan teams, all he need is good, solid role players to do their
LeBron
job.
didn't have that.
Yes, he did.
Not in 2018. No, he didn't.
Oh, bro. That was the year he had Deladova and all of them.
None of them were helping him. You know, LeBron dropped 8 40-point games that year in the playoffs alone, and
Bro,
they still lost.
When Deladova...
That's not killing? Okay, 8 40-point games in one postseason, that's not killing?
He is tripping, bro. When Deladova is diving on the floor...
That was 2015, not 2018. He wasn't the same person in 2018. That wasn't the same person in 2018.
Deladova is like TJ McCollum, the dude on the Pacers. That's who Deladova is like.
You're thinking about 2015, not 2018.
Man.
2018, LeBron did everything. The same way Jordan dropped 62 and they lost, LeBron dropped 51 and they lost. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to Jordan.
LeBron never did everything in one. No.
51, 8 and 8 is not everything. Yes or no? 51, 8 and 8
for one game.
Yeah, and they lost the game. Yeah, it's quiet now.
Man, who you got?
Yeah,
who's better?
Now.
Who's better,
it's
man?
Quiet now.
Who's better? It's
real quiet.
Shawn Kemp.
Zion Williamson, we already went over this. He a nicer guy. I don't care. He gonna give me 30. You can have your little 19 and 9. I'll take my 27 and 6.
I'm taking Shawn Kemp, man.
Take him.
Shawn Kemp gonna bust your ass consistently throughout the game. He not gonna
Zion
fall off. He not gonna be 2 cheeseburgers away from missing $20 million out of his contract.
He be creating double standards. He says something about one person, and when I bring it back up, it doesn't apply to the other situation.
Well, how did that at?
Participation trophies. Aaron Nesmith hitting all those threes.
Jordan, bro.
Okay, and the same way that Jordan lost to the Celtics.
Come on, man. You got to hit the button.
And now he want to end it.
He
want to end it. He always want to end it when I start cooking him.
Hit the button,
All right, I'm going to hit the button. All right, y'all. So
Who the fuck let him get that button in there, man?
all right, so talking about Zion, first topic of the day. The New Orleans Pelicans traded CJ McCollum, the guy he just brought up, for Jordan Poole, another guy he brought up. So with that being the case, now we got Jordan Poole, ex Zion Williamson. How do you feel about that? Do you think that makes them better as a team, or are they better off keeping CJ?
That's a horrible trade
For who, Washington or New Orleans?
for both teams.
Yeah, honestly, I agree.
I think them dudes in Washington is too young for CJ McCullough. He's too much of a vet. I think that ain't gonna work with him over there. And then the other way on it, I don't see Zion staying there with Jordan Poole being so inconsistent. CJ McCullough, he balling. He gonna be consistent. He gonna play D. He gonna do what he got to do.
He's a cone. He does not play defense. Let's not give him too much credit now.
But I just said you know what you're gonna get with him.
Yeah, you also say he gonna play D. He does not play defense.
He play a little bit.
No, he doesn't.
He play enough D. Ain't nobody say he was,
When you say somebody, when you're listing somebody's attribution and say they play defense, it makes you think, okay, they're a defender. He is far from that.
He can play D. I ain't say him on the other side.
It's not anything that you should know.
Bro, it's some players that Tyler Hero can't play no D.
Yeah, CJ McCollum really can't either. He's a mismatch.
Come on, bro.
He's a mismatch.
This dude is tripping, bro.
All right, bro. Shit. I can tell you don't. I've said this to Bryce before. Like, some of the stuff you be saying makes me think you don't watch the games.
No.
Bro. CJ McCollum does not play defense.
CJ, you acting like he getting cooked for 30 a night.
He never guards the other team's best player because he's not really a defender.
But if he's so much of a mismatch, somebody's going to be cooking his ass. You can't hide from certain teams.
Yeah, New Orleans doesn't make it deep enough to play against those teams.
But in the West, you're going to play against a good 1 and a good 2, or a good 2 and a good 3. He going to have to guard somebody.
You put him on a dude that sits in the corner, like the Lou Dorts of the world.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's quiet.
No, you tripping.
Because they played Oklahoma City in the first round last year, right? You know who he was guarding, right?
Who was guarding?
Lou Dort in the corner.
This nigga be Lou Dort ain't even come on, bro.
That's my point. You put on people like that because you don't play defense.
Bro, you can't. All right, so you won't pick and roll him to death
with Lou Dort?
To switch and get the mismatch if CJ's such a mismatch.
Lou Dort doesn't set picks. He sits in the corner.
But I said, wouldn't that be smart, right? If it's such a defensive liability, don't LeBron do that all the time to Steph Curry?
Okay.
Cricket. Don't he do that?
What does that have to do with Lou Dort? Lou Dort doesn't set the screen. He sits in the corner.
But
they always put the weakest defender. You know who Hallie was guarding in the finals, right?
Oh, what I'm saying is if he's such of a weak defender, people will take advantage of him.
Yeah, Hallie doesn't play defense either. He's sat in the corner too.
Bro, but he has to play D sometimes.
Who?
Hallie, whatever his name is, he had to play D sometimes. Sometimes he got stuck on Brunson. Sometimes.
Again, you're talking about Brunson. I'm saying against the Thunder. You said in the Western Conference you're going to come across those. That's my point. I literally said word for word. The Pelicans don't make it deep enough to play against those sort of teams.
A 1, a 2, or a 3.
Right, and when they played the Thunder, he guarded Lou Dort.
All right, he
doesn't play defense.
But he could have been on J. Will.
Yeah, they would have got cooked.
All right. He would have.
So what are we talking about? He don't play defense.
He play enough. I didn't say he played D.
Yes, you do.
I just said he plays enough. It's some dude. It's 3 levels of defense.
Run the footage back, bro. That's not what he said.
CJ McCullough, he's balling. He gonna be consistent. He gonna play D. He gonna do what he got to do. CJ McCullough, he's balling. He gonna be consistent. He gonna play D. He gonna do what he got to do.
He's a con.
CJ McCullough, he's balling. Levels of defense. It got a nigga can't play. He's barbecue chicken. What's the coach? Avery Johnson. He used to call it e-fence, no D. But no D. For real. No freaky, all right? No D. But you got niggas that can't guard no D. You got some regular defenders, CJ McCullough.
No, he's in between. He's not quite no D, but he's below average.
But he's not gonna get cooked though, man.
You just said J Double cook him. You just said that.
But what I'm saying is, if he was so much of a mismatch, why didn't OKC?
Because he was guarding Lou Dort. Lou Dort sits in the corner.
But this how LeBron gets his mismatch all the time.
You're not LeBron.
But I'm just saying, if someone's such a mismatch, I would do that all the time if he's a defensive liability.
Is Tyrese Halliburton a defensive liability?
No.
Oh my God, yes he is.
Bro, I'm listen. I hate him. And I'm telling you that at times when he had to step up and play a little bit, he gave it to you.
He gets passing lane steals. He plays angles very well.
But
he
it
can't
don't
guard in front
But
of
it don't,
somebody.
bro. I didn't see nobody, even on the Knicks. I didn't see nobody go for 40 on him, bro. I didn't see it.
Because he doesn't guard those people. Jalen Brunson, his matchup every night, no matter what, was Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard.
Okay, now cool. Now if I'm the Knicks coach and I know it's a defensive liability out there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, look, I'm gonna be like, yo, go at him, whoever it is. OG,
Those people don't have those bags, is what I'm saying.
you bugging. Oh, you
Not OG. He's not guarding. OG's guarding Josh Hart. Josh Hart don't got no crazy bag. He's smooth getting to the basket. He don't got no bag. You're not putting Josh Hart at the top of the key. Oh, fry him. That's not his game.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, then. Anywho, back to the original conversation. So we talked about the CJ piece. So why do you think Jordan Poole is not going to help New Orleans?
Inconsistent, not on the same level, not a vet.
Okay, so you think they need a vet?
Zion, at this point, was Zion coming into the middle of his career where he want to start winning? Yeah.
So do you think the safer play for a guy like Zion is to stay in New Orleans and hope they bring you the right help or get out?
Nah, it's over.
Where do you see somebody like Zion landing?
Damn, that's a good one. Milwaukee.
With or without Giannis?
I think without Giannis. I think that'll be,
I'd rather stay in New Orleans than go to Milwaukee.
yeah, but if neither one of them got no trades. And Giannis won out. He don't want to stay there. And I think Zion could wait a year, build somebody else up, and play with Dame. Giannis want to move.
Not to New Orleans.
It don't matter, nigga. If you say you want to go, I find somewhere where I could get a good piece that makes sense. Yeah.
Nah.
Zion don't make sense in Milwaukee.
No, it's not about that. Milwaukee's not going to trade Giannis to New Orleans. They're not going to do him like that. For example, the Suns, right? The reason that Kevin Durant didn't get traded to the Timberwolves is because he told them, I don't want to go to Minnesota. The deal was close to happening. He let it be known I didn't want to go there. You think Milwaukee's not going to appease to Giannis after what he did in 2021 for them? They're not going to just trade him to New Orleans just to get him off the roster.
Bro, when it's over, it's over. I think if it's a better situation.
I don't think, and that on top of it too, I don't think Zion's a better situation than Giannis.
I'm not saying that. It ain't about that. It's about getting back something that makes sense.
Zion makes sense, but I'm telling you right now, they're not trading him. If Zion ends up in Milwaukee, that means it was a 3-team trade. I promise you, Giannis is not ending up in New Orleans. I promise you that.
I'm not. Listen, you said what will make sense
for Zion, right? And I'm saying it doesn't make sense for Giannis to end up in New Orleans. So I'm going to preface by saying, okay, Zion in Milwaukee, maybe. If that happens, Giannis is not in New Orleans. It's a 3-team deal.
Bro, you acting like they have to go there. Like a team has to listen to him.
What?
A team don't have to listen to him. If he say, I don't want to play there.
I'm telling you that's not happening.
See, you used to new NBA.
Yeah, we're in 2025, but we're done with the 90s. Got him. Got him. You're right. I am used to new basketball, bro. It's the 21st century, bro.
Yo.
Let it go.
Yo, next week I'm sitting over there. Next week we switching this. I'm sitting over there. I'm like, yo, he keep getting this fucking button off. I swear.
But nah.
And you know what your sound gonna be, right?
Nah.
I'm bringing the Urkel sound in.
Anywho. So that's the talk with Zion. We don't really think it's a productive trade.
Nah, that trade don't make neither team better.
I agree. But a trade that does make teams better is Kevin Wayne Durant to the Houston Rockets. So now that KD is a member of the Rockets and we traded him, not we, but the Rockets traded him for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and a bunch of picks. Considering they didn't give up too much of their core, how far do you think they go? Because when we talked about it, we talked about picking between Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith. They were able to keep both of them. So what do you think the ceiling is for the Rockets now?
I like the trade and then I hate the trade.
For Houston?
Yeah.
You hate it. What about it?
Nah, just they gave up a lot of young pieces. They gave up good pieces.
A lot of young pieces?
Well, 2 real good pieces that's not over 30.
Jalen Green gave me in a 7-game series 5 single-digit games. Sorry. Dillon Brooks, okay, yeah. Essentially, you're swapping Jalen Green for KD and then taking away Dylan Brooks and then a bunch of picks. I'll do that 10 times out of 10, bro. Jalen Green just showed us he can't be the one. But
No.
now KD?
I said that, but I just don't like KD the way he fuck up a culture of a team. That's what I don't like about it.
And it goes back to the conversation we had last week, and this is what I would say. I think Houston is a different type of situation from a standpoint of, KD comes in, and when he went to Brooklyn, it was supposed to be his team, quote unquote. Phoenix, him and Book's team, quote unquote. Houston is already a team that was a 2 seed last year. He's coming in. It's not Kevin Durant's culture. He's coming into a culture. I think he's an add-on rather than like the reset, if that makes sense. So I think that there's only so many things he can mess up because Houston still has Şengün. You still got Fred VanVleet. You still got Thompson. You still got Smith. He's just the scorer. You're not asking him to be the leader.
You can't say that.
What can I say?
Because he is coming there to be a leader.
A leader, but not like the culture. Like you don't bring him in so we can like say, all right, we're following KD's culture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
But that's what you should be bringing him in to do. That's why.
That's not who he is.
But that's why I said I like this trade and then I hate this trade at the same time because it's like, see, you not saying it correctly. I already said what I don't like about it, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what I do like about it is you putting KD on the team with a bunch of role players,
essentially. And
so
a couple all-stars potentially.
It's not. It ain't. You have dudes that know to go out there and do their job. Like Şengün gonna go hit the boards. He gonna clean everything.
Thompson gonna be a pest defensively.
Exactly.
Right.
Parker gonna kill the boards too. He gonna bang with the big man. He gonna bang with Jared Jackson.
Right.
Smith,
but yeah.
You know what I'm saying. He's gonna go at them dudes. Mm-hmm. And Van Fleet just gonna be a dog at the top of that key. He's not the best defender, but he's a dog.
He gonna hit the effort 100%.
Yeah. So
shout out Fred VanVleet.
KD just to go, he get to go in there and just move and do what he needs to do.
And
so I think, listen, he's with that trade right there. It's if it lines up the right way, it's Dallas against Houston.
I 100% can get behind that
in the Western Conference Finals.
I can get behind that.
And I think Dallas will get them.
I think they might.
No,
I think
they will.
They could. I think the big thing with Dallas is whether or not it's Cooper Flag or you still think they're going to trade Cooper Flag for whatever reason. I think it depends on what that piece, how effective that Cooper Flag or the piece they bring in it is, like how well they mesh with everybody else. Potentially, yeah, they could go to the finals, but I have to actually see it. I'm not going to crown Cooper Flag, the guy that takes them over the top without him playing the game. So maybe.
Yeah, I don't like.
I will say too, the same way you said, this is off topic, but the same way you said Houston and Dallas is next year for what you see. Let me say this real quick. Indiana, Boston, Milwaukee.
Cakewalk. Knicks is going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I got this.
No excuse. There's genuinely no hating. There's no excuse for the Knicks or the Cavs not to make the there's no excuse for that not to be the conference finals.
Garland won out.
So? They just won 63 games.
Yeah, but Garland wants out.
As long as they got Donovan Mitchell, there's no excuse.
Can't say that. But go ahead. It is an excuse because Donovan is a great scorer and all that, and that's why I didn't want him on the Knicks. But he's the reason they lost them games. Because Donovan Mitchell, when he scores and he starts chucking, he takes away from the team. If the ball don't move, that's why when Garland play. Garland moves that ball around around. Like, if he don't play with a ball-dominant point guard, he'll fuck a game up. And Donovan Mitchell, for real, he's fire, right? He's fire. But he fucks a team up. Bro.
Okay, I can see that. So I just, again, to wrap that up, I think that in the West, we'll say Houston and Dallas potentially. I'm not as committed to that as Mike because I just watched Oklahoma City win the championship. But they're definitely contenders. And then I think, in the East, there's no excuse for the New York Knicks. No excuse. If y'all don't make it to the finals next year, you're not.
Yo, you don't think that chip was fixed?
No. You think Hallie Torres? You think that him turning his Achilles was fixed?
Nah, I think they was gonna give it to him whether they had Hallie or not.
Hallie was out. Ooh, no. Bro, we're gonna get to that, but absolutely not. That was not fixed.
That game was fixed, man.
So him tearing his Achilles was fixed. Because I promise.
They was gonna lose anyway, bro.
Yeah, come on now. Come on, man. We'll get back to that later. Okay, so
the refs was gonna do what they do.
Come on now. You see what I'm saying? When they out there, they be killing. Man.
Yo, Bryce.
Talking shit. I can't. And you know,
Yo, Bryce, next week, I'm getting that button, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God I'm getting that button, bro. Yo, watch the watch. Yo, he gonna be mad. He gonna be like...
He gonna be like, what? Look at the camera.
Did I do that? Watch.
Wait, this joke's about me.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Steve Urkel joint.
anywho. All right, so the trades that kind of address what we talked about last week. I told you the Celtics wasn't going to get off of Brown and Tatum, and we're seeing that come to fruition. So we talking Jrue Holliday first or Kristaps first? You pick.
Bro, they're both toast. So it don't even...
No, Drew's not staying in Portland. We watched this happen already.
Yo, bro, Jrue Holliday is toast, bro. Portland is gonna be sorry.
No, he's not staying there. I promise you he's not.
Even if he don't, where's yo?
It's the same thing that happened last time. Like, genuinely, when they traded him from Milwaukee for Dame, he was in Portland, and it's like, damn, his career over with. And all of a sudden, he was on Boston winning the championship.
But look, you have to go somewhere that's willing to eat his money.
Okay. If I'm a contending team and I feel like I'm a piece away,
like
Jrue Holliday has proven.
All right, so look, perfect example. Where do he go?
Shit.
That got the cap. I want to hear you say this. And that got a player.
That's the Clippers. I'll trade him for James Harden straight up. Straight up.
Bro, give me another one. Get serious, bro. Come on, bro.
That's not serious?
Bro, you got to get serious.
That's not serious. Trading him for James Harden straight up.
Bro, that's a horrible trade.
For who?
For Jrue Holliday and James Harden.
Who's the bad trade for? Portland or the Clippers?
Bro, the Clippers.
Did you watch James Harden in Game 7?
This nigga is crazy, man.
Did you watch that?
I guess I wasn't. I guess I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I promise. Jrue Holiday's, of course, career-wise, James Harden's a Hall of Famer, first ballot MVP, all that. Where he's at right now in his career? Jrue Holiday won a championship last year. He is a piece that you can plug.
Bro, let's get serious.
We are serious.
All right, Jrue Holiday played defense. He made solid plays, right? James Harden quarterbacked a whole season with Kawhi Leonard. And the reason why that will be a very, very, very stupid trade is because you getting rid of your orchestrator.
Jrue Holiday can do that. Who was the orchestrator in Milwaukee?
Bro.
Who was it?
What do you mean? When they won?
Yeah. Not bucket getter, not best player. Who was the orchestrator?
Bro, see, I like how you just switched that. You see how he said, not the bucket getter.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking.
Because it was good. The orchestrator to me was Middleton, who went and got the chip. Now, Jrue Holiday, bro, you can't put him in that same category, bro.
I'm not saying he is James Harden.
No, the effect on a team. Jrue Holiday could slide to the third, fourth option like he was on Boston.
And Milwaukee, he was a third
But
option.
yeah, but what you need on the Clippers is somebody that's a 2, but that's really a 1. Because you got to have somebody, because Kawhi's injury prone.
For sure.
All right, so this is why James Harden fits so perfect.
But when he plays like that, no, he doesn't.
Hold on, bro, because when Kawhi goes out, James Harden could be a 1 and dominate, score, get you those wins to still make the playoffs.
Okay, so this is my argument. I
agree. But
Go ahead.
Jrue Holiday, if you put him in that position,
you're not a 1.
Kawhi goes down,
yeah, you're cooked.
Season is over.
So let me tell you why I think that it's a smart trade for the Clippers. I agree with that.
How you just say you agree with me, but then you say it's a smart trade?
Because two things can be true at once.
Let me hear this shit.
So
sorry, Granny.
So I agree.
I had to do that. He got the button, Granny. So I got to say something.
So look, I agree that James Harden, again, if Kawhi goes out and you're saying, okay, who's going to be the person to keep the team afloat? James Harden is a much better option than Jrue Holiday, 100%. What I'm saying is, realistically, the Clippers aren't winning anything if Kawhi is not playing. They're not going to make a run.
So, nigga, you think they're going to win something with Jrue Holiday?
No, what I'm saying is you're banking on – the Clippers' title chances bank on Kawhi Leonard's health, right?
But that's,
if he is healthy.
But that's why you need a 1 and a 2. Because, look, even when games – look, and you saw it in the playoffs. Even when games when Kawhi really don't got it, James Harden get him there and pass it. Look, and pass it to Kawhi at the end of the game for Kawhi to finish.
Right, and Jrue Holiday can do that same thing.
No, Jrue Holiday. Bro, Jrue Holiday can't carry no team for no 3 quarters. Come
James
on,
Harden
bro.
doesn't do that anymore.
He can. Because, look, because if James Harden ain't scoring, He's
Yeah,
facilitating.
Jrue Holiday can do that too.
No, bro, the last time.
Now, obviously, James Harden's on another level.
Jrue Holiday, I don't even know ever when the best he probably did that was in New Orleans because.
So you think it's a coincidence that Milwaukee and Boston won championships with him as a starting guard?
No, they won that because he spearheads the defense. He's going to slow that defense up at the top. He's a defensive monster. That's what he is.
And he was also the orchestrator.
Offensively?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll ask you again. Who was the orchestrator in Milwaukee? You think Chris Middleton?
I think at the end of the game, fuck yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the game, it could be Kawhi Leonard using your logic.
But you can't get there with Jrue Holiday, though.
Milwaukee did it.
No, the Milwaukee did that with Giannis and Middleton. Jrue Holiday was number 3. Like I said, he could be your 3rd or 4th option on the team.
Okay, and
he
Zubac give you 20
201.
and 10.
No, bro, you can't put. Come on, bro.
It's a different game, but I'm saying the Clippers. Okay, for example,
James Harden is not the 3. Zubac don't get no 20 if it ain't for James Harden.
Okay, fair.
All
And
right,
I think
then.
that Jrue Holiday can have the same effect.
No, Jrue Holiday ain't going downhill dishing out the ball.
Yes, he is.
Jrue Holiday ain't no downhill player like no James Harden.
You didn't watch the 2021 Bucks, obviously.
Bro, I watched this year Boston Celtics, nigga. That nigga was a spot up in the corner. Half the time
because they have Derek White, Peyton Pritchard,
but half the
Jaylen
time
Brown,
he wasn't
Jason
even
Tatum,
bringing the ball up.
because of the players that they have on their team.
Exactly my point.
My point is in Milwaukee.
Now hold on. Stay right there.
Okay.
Now if Jrue Holiday, fuck that. If James Harden is not on Boston and you put Jrue Holiday right there, is anybody else on Boston bringing the ball up?
If it's James Harden?
On that team?
Nah.
Keep it a buck.
Probably not.
They're not. So this is why I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, he could Derek White maybe, but probably not. No, you
ain't Derek. Nigga, you know what James Harden is.
Okay,
Yo, go in the corner. He'll tell him, go in the corner. This my joint.
Yeah,
right
and this is my point. Again, I'm not arguing that as a one, James Harden's not more effective than Jrue Holiday. He's an MVP.
And the 2.
Sure, he's an MVP.
But Jrue Holiday can't be either or, right? Never in his career he could be a 1 or 2. Never in his career has he been a 1 or 2.
And never in his career has James Harden won a championship.
This nigga goes, that's drastic, bro.
Not really. It's
Bro,
not a
that's super
coincidence.
drastic. We went from being the 1 to winning the championship.
Yeah, because Jrue Holiday offers something different when he's not a
No,
1.
he offers that when he's in the 3rd and 4th.
Sure.
But don't compare him. Harden's nowhere near 3rd or 4th. Those are 2 different
and that's
things.
the problem. We watched it in Houston, it was his team 100%. We watched him go to Brooklyn, didn't show up. We watched him go to Philly.
Now hold on. Don't blame that on him, bro. No, I listen, I'm not a James Harden fan like that either. But don't blame that shit on him. Because Kyrie looked like shit playing with him too. You know why? Because KD fucks up every team.
The common denominator.
You can't blame James Harden for that.
I think that at a certain point.
And James Harden had Philly balling too. Embiid fucked
and in
that
game
up.
7.
Embiid fucked that up. With Euro stepping, fucking his knee up again.
Do you know what James Harden's stats are in the last 4 game 7s he's played in?
All right, the nigga do be selling ass the last game.
That's what I'm saying. You know who does? Right, and you know who doesn't? That's my point.
But you would never get to that game 7 with no fucking Jrue Holiday. You won't even make it to the next round with banking on Jrue Holiday.
For real? Because I remember them being down 0-2 to the Suns and then winning 4 in a row with Jrue Holiday.
Who?
The Bucks.
Oh, with him playing 3rd or 4th option.
Right, and I'm saying when Kawhi is healthy.
Exactly.
When Kawhi, okay, look. When Kawhi's healthy, we see what he can do as a 1. Again, it goes back to when he goes out, you want James Harden to be the 1. I'm saying if Kawhi Leonard is healthy, Jrue Holiday will help him go further.
He's trying to debo the fact that you ain't going to win this one, son.
If Kawhi Leonard is healthy, Jrue Holiday will be a better pair for him.
But he's still not. He can't play a 1 or 2. They won't make
He's
it.
Not
to
a
where they
1.
are.
That's what I'm saying. It's
he's
Kawhi.
He's not a 2.
I think with that team, I think he can be because of how far the Clippers went with James Harden.
Bro, if Jrue Holiday is the number 2 scoring option on the team, they're going to be doo-doo. The worst team in the league.
That's absolutely not true.
Hit the button, man.
We hit the button and then wrap it up with this before we get into the next topic. Kristaps to the Hawks. Does that really make the Hawks better in your estimation? Because obviously the Celtics are getting rid of everybody. What about Kristaps to the Hawks?
Nah, I ain't jacking it. I'm not jacking it.
Okay. Do they make the playoffs, you think?
In the East, nah. Like Porzingis, everybody, they buying into this shit. Porzingis got to hide on Boston. He got to be like the number 3, number 4
Right,
option.
for sure.
You know, it wasn't dependent on him to go out there and get him 20 every single night.
Right.
And those nights when he did get 20, it was super sus because he was sitting in the corner. Everybody watching Tatum or Brown. You know, you getting...
Yeah, the pick and pops.
Yeah, exactly. In the corner.
Top
So,
of the key,
nah,
but,
I'm not buying that because now in Atlanta, he's going to have to be that number 2 option.
Potentially.
And no, he has to.
I think Jalen Johnson could be.
Nah.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson has to learn how to cut and play backdoor play without the ball.
Why are you acting like Trae Young doesn't have the ball every possession?
No, I'm saying right now the way this team is going to be, if you put Kristaps Porzingis coming up,
Right.
set the pick.
Right.
Trae Young coming off the pick.
Right. Jalen Johnson has a different role. He's a dunker spot, catches lobs, right?
Bro, any coach that gets these 2 players and they don't play a pick and roll, that nigga is he's number 3. He's the number 3 option, all right? I'm telling you the play that they're going to run. They're going to play a pick and roll.
Okay, right.
Now, whether they pick and pop or whatever the case may be,
Right.
but the main 2 scoring options is going to be Porzingis and Trae Young, just off that pick and roll.
Okay, using that logic, which I'm
Because
not against.
Trae Young is a monster throwing that lob.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with that logic at all. I'm just saying I think it has the potential to be maybe a 2A and 2B sort of thing with Kristaps and Jalen Johnson.
Watch.
I'm not saying they're going to the finals. I just think it helps them take a step forward.
His buckets is, and this is not his game. He's not a sit.
Johnson?
Yeah, it's not. He's not a sit in the corner shooter. He's not gonna sit there. He's more. He got to get the ball, touch it. You know what I'm saying? No freaky. I'm saying, and play his game. But that's not gonna be it. Coming off that pick, weak side in the corner or weak side cutting backdoor Trae Young. I'm telling you, that's gonna be his game. I think
he could thrive in that.
Okay, but that's gonna be the number 3 option.
Maybe.
That's what it's gonna be.
Maybe. I think some people are so good at playing that role that they become the number 2.
Who's the number 1 scoring option on Denver?
Jokic.
Who's number 2?
Jamal Murray.
Pick and roll game.
Okay.
Look, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're using 2 people that are
pick and roll players.
Okay, perfect example. Indiana. They run the pick and roll all game.
No,
listen to me.
No.
Indiana runs the pick and roll all night, do they not?
No.
They don't?
Nah, man.
They don't run the pick and roll all night.
No, not with the player that we took about. If they running the pick and roll, you saying run the pick and roll with, well, if it was gonna be effective, if we was gonna compare it, it would have to be with Siakam.
That's my point, idiot.
They didn't run it.
They don't run it.
That's not their style of play.
They don't run it with Siakam. You're talking about how they run a pick and roll, and those 2 guys are the main options. I'm saying Indiana's offense is Turner, Halliburton, pick and roll. The number 2 option is Siakam because he thrives so well in that off-ball position. What I'm saying is maybe Jalen Johnson can thrive like that. It's possible to play that position and be the number 2. Siakam is living proof.
No, Siakam is the strength, so they're gonna go that way. But if the strength was on the other side, they're gonna go right to that other side in the pick and roll, which is gonna be Porzingis.
What? They run the pick and roll with Miles Turner, not Pascal Siakam.
But I just equated it to being Atlanta.
So what I'm saying is if we run the pick and roll with Trae and Kristaps, and we have Pascal in the corner making the cuts, the off-ball decisions, it's the same thing. And I'm saying maybe Jalen Johnson can step into that. He's not Pascal Siakam right now. I'm just saying we don't know what he will be.
But you missing what I'm saying. If he's not Pascal Siakam right now, right?
Because he hasn't had to be.
Okay, so when they run that play now, they're not going this way. They're always going to go to the strength, which is Porzingis.
I think we're just missing each other's points here. Pascal Siakam thrives in off-ball situations.
Because he's a number 2.
Right, and I'm saying maybe Jalen Johnson can do the same thing.
He's not a number 2. Compared when Porzingis is on the court, Porzingis is always going to have the mismatch in a pick and roll setting. So that's going to make him more of an efficient scorer. Potentially.
We don't know what Jalen Johnson will look like in this role. Have you seen Jalen Johnson play this type of role before?
No.
So how do we know what it's going to look like?
Because, bro, the mismatch. If you have Jay Will that just won the championship on that side of a pick and roll on the weak side.
Yeah, he's going to be the number 2 option.
No.
Yes.
He's going to be the number 3 option.
Oh, no, he's not. Kristaps ain't dropping no 40 in no finals game.
And that was his style of play. He's a slasher.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're not going to get those type of buckets on that. I would take Porzingis in the other role. Coming off a pick and roll, not us running on a fast break. Pick and roll.
How it comes to fruition.
Michael Porter. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's going to be. He's going to be the Michael Porter type dude.
With Jalen Johnson?
Yeah.
It would be effective if he was, but that's not his game.
But that's what I'm saying. That's going to be playing with Porzingis in that pick and roll. Trae Young, bro, look, they got to pick their poison. If they come over and hedge the pick, it's going to be Porzingis' game all day long. If they don't, they play back, Trae Young is going to kill him.
Right.
So they have to pick their poison, and Porzingis is going to be coming off them lobs because they're going to try to stop Trae.
What I'm saying is maybe on those lobs, you rotate from the weak corner and you leave Jalen Johnson in the corner. Maybe his game develops. He knocks down that three. It's only one way to find out is all I'm saying. I'm not arguing against who Kristaps is. I just think you're not giving Jalen Johnson enough credit to see what he can be.
Bro, how you see this? What I'm saying. This was wrong with the generation, bro. This the generation shit. How do you want to give him like you want to speed up? He ain't show us nothing about he could be the number 2 option.
Did you see what he was doing last year before he got hurt?
Bro, see this? Oh man.
So I guess you didn't see it. I guess that's why you're upset because you don't know what I'm arguing. I guess you must have not seen it,
bro. He's all right. That's not no locked in number 2 guaranteed go
right. And what
move.
I'm saying, Kristaps could make it easier for him because he is playing off ball now. You don't have to make those moves off the dribble. It's easier. It's catch it in the corner. They close out hard. 1-2 pull up. That's an easier game.
That ain't his game, though.
We gotta see. You just said 5 minutes ago is you literally just said you've never seen him play in this role before. I'm just saying we gotta see it. I'm not saying he will be great. I'm not saying he won't be. We gotta see it. You just writing him off. We gotta see.
Nah, it ain't. We gotta see. You gotta show me.
Right.
Nah, bro.
I'm saying the same thing, but both ways. You gotta show me it will work. You gotta show me it won't. I'm not picking a side.
Yeah, but he ain't show me that yet.
I'm not picking a side. That's all I gotta say. All right. So the current state of the NBA with the Pacers just losing in 7 to the Thunder. There's a couple different ways we can go with this. So first of all, if you're Hallie, right? I've asked a few people in my life this question. I've gotten mixed reviews.
Thank you, Hallie.
All right, bro. Thank you is crazy.
Thank you, Hallie.
Thank you is crazy. Do you play Game 7 if you're him, or you sit it out?
Yeah, I would have played.
I would have to.
But look, this what happens, man. Yo, it's probably a great player that you never even heard of that was probably. You remember Portland Trailblazers?
Brandon Roy? Trying me like I don't know my history. He really tried it.
Brandon
Roy was cold.
And
can't stay on the court.
No, it was that same thing. What just
trying
happened.
to play through. Yeah, I get it.
I think he had a meniscus surgery.
Yeah, he made his knee. It was degenerative because of how bad he was.
Boom, and he wasn't supposed to play that early, and he came back in. Bro, he used to give Kobe fits.
I find it disrespectful.
Game.
I find it disrespectful that you just thought I wouldn't know who Brandon Roy is. It's kind of.
Bro, you was playing when he was, but you was born when he was in the NBA.
Okay, you think I don't know my history? I haven't shown you enough already.
I don't know, bro. The fuck this nigga just did this? The fuck, nigga? I did some weird shit. He did like this. Look, he was like, "You think I didn't show you enough already?" The Ben Stiller shit. We they was playing dodgeball. What fuck? Yo, the statistician just tried to nerd punk me behind the glasses.
Oh, snap.
Yo, I feel violated. Like he just punked me. He said.
Oh my God. But nah, for real, yeah. I get it.
For real, don't do that shit no more.
Don't chop you no more. Talking about, I don't know if you know he used to play on Portland.
Yo.
You gotta know who Brandon Roy is.
Nah, Brandon Roy. He's solid, bro.
When he was like healthy at their best, yeah, Brandon Roy. It's like a T-Man type of situation. You know what I'm saying? You know how to sustain greatness.
Yeah, I think he was more, not no T-Mac. I think he was more like Dwayne Wade.
No, I'm talking about from a standpoint of they weren't healthy for the longest, but at their best, you knew what Brandon Roy was, you knew what T-Mac was.
Nah, I get what you're trying to say. T-Mac was
I'm not saying they play the same. I'm talking about the injuries.
T-Mac was a monster, but he was a first-round monster. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Roy was
what?
What you mean?
As if he made a deep run on Portland or something.
With one leg, though. They made it to the second round.
Not true.
They made it
when
to the second round.
When Damian Lillard hit that three against the Houston Rockets to send them to the second round, Mike Tirico said for the first time in 13 years, the Portland Trailblazers go to the second round.
What year was that?
2014. Brandon Roy.
13? Yeah, that wasn't 2001.
You're right. Brandon Roy never made it past the second round. And again, you trying me like I don't know my history. The whole time he the one that don't know. Do you know Brandon Roy?
Hold on,
Do you know Brandon Roy?
I can't wait to get that fucking button, man. No, he hit a buzzer beater.
First round merchant.
He hit a buzzer beater.
I
think against Houston.
I'm not saying he ain't hoop, but he ain't get it past the first round.
Nah, son. Don't say he ain't hoop like that.
He was a hooper.
Nah, he was him.
I'll give you that.
Yo, B. Roy, he was him.
I'll give you that. But yeah, with the Pacers, do you try and run it back? Like, do you try and re-sign everybody so that the 2027 playoff run, like, okay, we got Holly back in the equation, you kind of let people walk. What's your next direction now that he's hurt?
I hate when you say Holly, but
I'm sorry, that's his name.
Yeah, I think they run it back. They don't have no other choice, honestly, because if you start moving those pieces, you're not going to get those type of caliber players to buy into a system and come back.
Right.
So you keep them. And the best thing about that is McCollum, Nembhard, bro, them dudes, yo, when Halliburton come back, they going to be super dogs because those dudes is dogs, bro. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
It hurts me as like somebody who loves seeing good basketball as like from a competitor standpoint. I don't know that he'll ever get that close again to be in a game 7, come out, hit the 9 points in 6 minutes. Like, he's right there.
But you're not gonna need that from him no more.
Why not?
Because I think they team gonna go. The Pacers, man, if they play out next year, they keep that same team and they bring Halliburton back with those dudes making that type of jump.
So you think next year gonna give them the opportunity to flourish a little bit
Son
more?
is nice. That Canadian kid is nice.
Nembhard.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go to another level. He's gonna go because he wasn't scared of no moments. He wasn't scared of no big shots.
This is my personal opinion. No hating, no shade to those players. I don't think it's that they're scared. I think it's that without Howie, they aren't as productive. For example, that third quarter, game 7, 9 turnovers in the third quarter. TJ McConnell was the only person who scored the last 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Because when they have to be the one to do it, the one to orchestrate, not the secondary. Because that's the thing. When Hallie's on the court and you swing it to Nembhard, it's a different game versus Nembhard bringing it up the court. I don't know how effective. I think it'll be very similar to this year. I don't know how much they'll actually have an opportunity to grow.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna.
I hope they do. I loved watching that playoff run, but
You think they should bring in like another young guard or something?
no. You already got Neesmith. You already got Neesmith, McConnell, and Nembhard. And if you bring in another guard, what are they gonna do when Hallie comes back?
That's gonna be. Damn, I'm trying to think who could be. I don't know. Like this year, right now, like a Jordan Clarkson.
I think Nembhard's similar to that.
Nah, Nembhard's mad little, man. Jordan Clarkson, he's no freaky. He's a bigger dude. Yeah, the fuck.
Let me see how tall Nembhard is. I think Nembhard is 6'4".
No, they lying. Andrew Nembhard is small.
Yeah, he's small.
Like 6 foot.
I mean, they got him at 6'4".
All right, that's still small. Jordan, what's Clarkson? 6'6"?
We all know how Andrew Nembhard look on the court.
Yeah, he looked mad little.
He do look small. I can't lie.
They gassing it, but whatever.
6'3".
Whatever. He's 6'4". They say.
The whole time, Jordan Clarkson's 6'3". So what are we really talking about?
You lying?
You gotta see the height.
Yeah, damn.
I think it's because they just have different body types.
That's what I'm. So what are we really talking about?
I don't know. I would have never. Bro, he looked mad small.
I think it's what Bryce said for real. Like all jokes aside, I think Jordan Clarkson has like lankier with his arms and stuff, so it makes him look bigger. But they're very similar. I don't really see who you bring in that changes the culture without Halliburton there. I think you just have to ride it out and then add Hallie back next year.
Nah, they gotta put a guard there.
I don't know who.
They gotta put a guard in that rotation.
I think the best move is to do what you said, kind of force Nembhard to have to grow.
But you still gonna have to bring somebody to take his production.
McConnell gets a bigger role.
McCollum gonna be starting.
So who's coming off the bench?
Same people that's coming off the bench now.
So you go Nembhard, Neesmith. I would go Nembhard, Nesmith, Toppin, Siakam, Turner, and then McConnell 6 man.
I'm not starting Toppin.
Okay, that's not crazy. I just think you're going to be undersized a little bit if you go McConnell, Nembhard, and Nesmith. Because that's the thing. Hallie is a little bit bigger. He's like 6'6", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, but he ain't no. I don't know. He ain't no defensive paralysis. He's all right. But
yeah, I am. All right. So other side of that equation, the Thunder, right? Do you think this is the start of things to come, or this was a one-hit wonder?
This was the NBA buying them a fucking championship. That's what this
So you think they paid Halliburton to tear his Achilles?
Bro, no.
What are we talking about?
I'm saying that.
So you think they paid Hallie to tear his Achilles? You think they paid Aaron Gordon to pull his hamstring? Because those are both 2 7-game series where a significant piece got hurt in game 7.
Bro, but just because those pieces were, like, if those pieces were not hurt, it still would have been the same outcome.
You can't say that.
Think I said it already.
Those are 2 pieces that genuinely are like star, significant parts to their team that got injuries that hindered who they were able to be. And both of those series go 7 games. So I think it's very fathomable to say that, okay, if Aaron Gordon is healthy or Tyrese Halliburton is healthy throughout the course of the entire game 7, we have a different outcome. Let's not act like they just swept these teams now. Denver.
I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm saying it because this is who the NBA wanted these 2 small market teams to be there.
Sure.
And they want
okay.
And I think SGA is more who
they want to push.
Yeah, because Luka drinks beer and he's fat as shit. And Anthony Edwards said he don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, Halliburton, corny ass, you know what I'm saying? His father doing that stupid shit. They don't want him being the face of the league. You got shit like that going on.
I get what you're getting at, but what I'm saying is in that game 7, the way he was playing, it didn't matter what they wanted to start the game off.
Bro, what I'm trying to tell you is it matters what the NBA wants.
Not when you playing like that.
Bro, you listen, it's times Halliburton had lights out games against the Knicks to get there. It's simple. I show you 5 plays at the end of that game. He traveled for that last shot.
No. Mikal Bridges back tapped it.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
After he recovered.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges back tapped.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No. Bridges missed and hit his leg. I'm not saying that either or, whatever the case it is, a ref.
Okay, so this is the thing. If we're going to say he hit his leg, then you call a foul.
What do you mean?
You said he missed, he hit his leg. Okay, then it's a foul.
All right.
I thought in that moment you shouldn't.
Yeah, so if you're saying we're gonna blow our whistle, then the correct call is a foul.
All right, call a foul. They don't win the game.
Okay, we put him on a free throw line. What are we talking about there in the bonus?
Bro, he stayed missing. He could.
So you think he hit this on y'all? He not gonna hit a free throw? Come on now, let's be for real.
I think so. It could happen.
Come on now.
I think it could happen.
I'm just saying, you talking about he traveled. If we're gonna call something, so like you let that play
but
though.
I could show you 5 in a row. They hit OG in the head on the layup. Didn't call.
Okay, same thing. They hit Obi Toppin on the head on the N1 dunk. They didn't call it.
Bro, they called 5 fouls in like 30 seconds.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and those were ticky-tack fouls, but you're putting yourself in a position hitting them.
No, what you did in that was slow the game down so Indiana could take over the control of.
What are we talking about? Y'all the ones exhausted. Y'all the ones that Tom Thibodeau plays 100 minutes a night,
bro.
So blowing the whistle, stopping the game helps y'all, not Indiana.
Every time the Knicks built up momentum, they put them in foul trouble, bro. It's just they don't.
This is my thing.
It is
with,
what it
with
is.
Indiana, the agenda you're trying to push, that went both ways in that series. Both of them got a lot of questionable calls both ways. It wasn't just Indiana.
Okay, so at the end of the day,
so then it balances out.
No, if it's gonna be close, it's gonna be like that. They bought it. They put the team that they wanted to put in there. They want to build around SGA. He's way more marketable than Halliburton,
For sure.
especially after Halliburton's father did that. This shit is scripted. It's scripted.
Can't script somebody tearing their
Yes,
Achilles.
it is, because now what the NBA really wants, you act like they needed them to get hurt to control the game. They don't.
The reason that I disagree with that is because the word you use, control.
Okay.
Tyrese Halliburton was controlling that game before he got hurt. I'm lying?
Oh, man.
I'm lying?
Bro,
He wasn't controlling
He
the
had
game?
13 points in 14 minutes.
See, now he's just saying shit. Like, what the hell? He had 9 points in 6 minutes.
No, I think he had 13 points when he got hurt.
He had 9. These niggas just saying shit. Like, for real, this is actually crazy.
But he ain't.
This is actually crazy. He just saying stuff.
How many points he finished the game with?
9. He's actually just saying
like one
stuff.
time.
But because I think he be capping
He
sometimes.
said 13 points in 14 minutes.
That's what I thought it was. How many minutes he played before he?
We said Steph Curry. We was talking about Steph Curry scoring 13 points.
Yeah, bro. He had 9 points in
No,
6
bro. I
minutes.
could have sworn. I could have sworn when he went down, he
my
had
God.
13
You're,
points.
You're funny, bro. Give me some. You're funny, bro.
Fuck out of here. Press the button.
He had 9 points, bro. Yes, he played 7 minutes, but it was in 6. He got hurt during the 7th, bro. He had 9 points in 6
Crazy if
minutes.
he had 9 shit.
Oh, so he had 9 points in 7 minutes.
That's what.
All right, so yo, he acting like that shit is mad different from what I said. I knew the nigga put up some buckets in a short amount of time. This nigga's weird, bro.
Those are two different things.
Bro, cut it out.
What are we talking about?
Yo, this dude is.
No, it's the thing that makes it so like what is it's not that
I said he had 13 points in 14 minutes.
right. Those are two completely different.
He had.
You gave him double the amount of minutes that he played.
He had 9 points in 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo,
That's
oh
crazy.
my God.
Do you know how like averages work? That means let's say he played 28 minutes. That's 36 points if he keeps that up in 28 minutes.
Okay, bro. He scored what I said that to say he scored some buckets. All right, cool.
Right.
Don't act like it hasn't been other games in this playoffs where he'll score 8 points and then he'll end up with 12 points for
That's
the game.
not how he works.
14
That's not how he works.
game.
When he has a good first half, he finishes with 20 plus. That's how it works.
Man, I seen him. He done dropped the ball a couple of times, bro. They try to save him.
You know what I'm saying, Bryce? He don't be watching.
Watch
Halliburton,
what?
when he starts off like that, 9 points in the first quarter.
Not all the time.
Yes,
bro.
it is. His problem is again
No.
the games where he had the stinker. Yeah, I don't know what he got going on. The games where he had the stinker, where he had the 4 points on 0 made shots. Right. That's because he started off the game so slow. When he gets going early, for example, the game where he hit the choke against New York.
Why the fuck you keep doing that for? He keep doing the.
Oh, because I want you to feel what you felt that night. Pause.
That's yo, son. Hit the button, bro. What is going on with this dude, bro? Bro, hit the button, man. You gotta clear the space in here, bro. For real, man. What the hell? What?
Yeah, we can leave that there. We can leave that there.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my God. So the point is, Halliburton
Bro,
was hooping.
it's more of those, bro. This dude just nah. It's more of those. Damn, he just hurt my head with this, man. My blood pressure. I need some sugar or something.
My fault. But rest up, Hallie, for real. Get your Achilles back together.
I just
Tatum,
want to say,
Dame,
I
all
want to
of them.
say thank you, Holly. I swear, thank you so much, brother.
Thank
I
you for tearing your
appreciate you.
Achilles.
Nah, ain't nothing. I just
What are you thanking him for?
For giving the next cakewalk next year.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying thank
okay.
you.
Okay, I hear you. I still.
I don't even know why he even tried. You light skinned, bro. Why you even tried to thug it out at the end of the game, man? Come on, man. You knew what was gonna happen, bro. You light skinned it.
So now all of a sudden, because he got less melanin, he just softer.
Be softer most
All of a sudden.
Yeah. He light skinned it, man.
So you what? Brown skin, dark skin?
I'm dark skinned.
What did I do with your ACL? What was the protection of being dark skin?
How does get to my
Injuries happen to everybody. That's what I'm saying. Acting like because he light skinned, you feel me? All right, but nah. So we're gonna wrap things up. The draft was tonight's.
Yo, press the button again.
I just
man.
did. Anywho, the draft was tonight. Cooper Flag ended up on the Dallas Mavericks, like I told him he would. I don't know why he thought they were going to trade that pick. You think Dallas is going to go to the finals, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Dallas against New York.
So do you think, considering that you wanted them to trade that pick as bad as you did, do you think they still go to the finals with Cooper Flag, or that's only if they trade him?
I think they're gonna go with or without him.
Okay. So then why would you trade him? If you have a finals team who's you can add an 18-year-old piece to, what are you trading him for?
Because I felt like Giannis. But then right now, when I look at Giannis's money, that'll kind of fuck Dallas up in the cap. They wouldn't be able to
Didn't I say that? It makes more sense to go with the 18-year-old who's making a rookie deal.
No, but you didn't say the cap issue. The cap, if they will have to get rid of one of those, Clay, Kyrie, or Anthony Davis.
I brought that up when we debated. I said that adding in a rookie versus adding in somebody that makes $60 million, why would you choose the 30-year-old who's making $60 million?
But you ain't say they wouldn't be able to do it cap wise.
I thought you could put two and two together. That's my bad. I'm gonna stop assuming.
It ain't no assuming. You got to say what
No,
you
I
mean.
assume that you knew that bringing in a 30-year-old who makes $60
If
million
we
a
speak
year.
in specifics, it ain't no. I thought
Nah,
you.
you're right. I'm gonna stop assuming because that makes an ass out of you and me. That's my bad.
No, that made an ass out of you. You
That's my bad, bro. That's my bad for real. I'll never assume with you again because you think that Halliburton dropped 13 points in 14 minutes. Clearly, you don't know what you're talking about. So where did
Yo, I can't stand.
where did VJ Edgecombe go, Bryce? Do you know? Okay, VJ Edgecombe to the 76ers. So we talked about that. You would have took Ace Bailey over Edgecombe, right?
Yep.
So how do you feel about the fact that that didn't happen and we got Edgecombe in Philly? Now, do you think, if hypothetically, if Embiid's healthy, Maxi's healthy, do you think Edgecombe can, they can be contenders in this wide open East? No Tatum, no Hallie, no Dame.
I think that was a stupid pick in a way.
What, to draft Edgecombe?
Yeah.
How so?
Cause I think next year Philly gonna be kind of stacked on the wing.
Yeah. So Tyrese, Jared McCain, Paul George, Edgecombe, Embiid. You don't see that.
No, remember they still got
Oubre.
some from the Knicks that start playing.
Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
Quentin Grimes. Yes.
Yeah.
Quentin Grimes. Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they really need. I would have really got a guard.
What guard? Dylan Harper was already off the board. Jeremiah Fears. That's a reach at 3. Jeremiah Fears could hoop, but that's a reach at 3. You already got Tyrese Maxey. You don't need Jeremiah Fears.
I'll start looking for my home run. My home run hit the.
I think the smarter play maybe trade down and don't draft at number 3.
Nah, I would have took a gamble
On who?
on a guard. Damn,
That's what I'm saying. Dylan Harper was already off the board. Jeremiah Fears at 3.
I would have traded up to get Dylan Harper. I would have, cause look. Because if you already stacked up on that wing, you don't need nothing on that wing. You got talent after talent after talent after talent.
My rebuttal is you also have Tyrese Maxey, so what do you need Dylan Harper
But
for?
I don't think Tyrese Maxey is the answer for them. So I would take a home run swing right now and try to go up and get Harper just in case. Because Maxey's really not a 1, but he's not a 2.
No, he's a 2.
But look, Harper is gonna be that same type of player. So now
so why are we drafting 2 of those?
Because you could do the Donovan Mitchell and Garland.
How's that working out?
They was the number 2 seed in the East.
Yeah, where were they at?
They
like
got
in June.
They got hurt. Well, Garland got hurt.
They wasn't.
You bugging. Look, not Mr. Stat number. You better look at their stats.
Yeah, during the regular season, during the playoffs. They do this every year.
But they got hurt. But how they do it every year? The team just
they
got
never
together.
make it past the second round.
Hit the button, man. Team, they just put that team together.
Yeah,
man.
2023 first round.
He said like this they 4th year doing
it. Was the 3rd.
Oh,
You're right. It wasn't the 4th. It was the 3rd, and they've never made it past the second round. You know who shows up every playoff series? Donovan Mitchell, and the rest of them, man. You remember Jared Allen quote? The lights was too bright.
But you're not looking at Jared Allen to score anyway.
What I'm saying is,
I don't know what you're saying, but
I'm
that
about to
little
tell
Tourette
you.
syndrome shit you just did.
Bro. I'm about to tell you.
Just like this.
Look, you're saying you're saying you don't look at Jared Allen to be that guy. I agree.
Nah.
What I'm saying is, rather than bringing in another Darius Garland with Donovan Mitchell, you bring in somebody who can play that role. So I'm saying for Philly,
Play what role?
somebody that can replace Jared Allen, rather than having 2 All-Star guards. So what I'm saying is, with Philly, rather than bringing in Dylan Harper when you already have a Tyrese Maxey, you expand on somebody else.
But that big man position is over. I think you taking a big man now is frivolous.
I'm not saying that it's necessarily a big man. I'm just saying Dylan Harper, you're bringing him to the team to do the same thing that Tyrese Maxey already does. That's not productive.
Yeah, but I would, because I will make a play to move Maxey, and I'll try to move him this year if Harper pan out. I'll try to move Maxey. I'll try to move him and get Embiid some help.
He's the help. What are you trading?
I mean in the paint. I mean like a Sabonis.
Sabonis and Embiid on the same team? Yeah, you're still in the 90s, bro. What the hell?
Nah, I would try to run that.
Sabonis and Embiid.
Minnesota just tried it. What you mean? And they did all right.
Yeah, all right. But when push came to shove, they couldn't stay with Luka on the pick and rolls because having Rudy Gobert out there was getting fried. Then this past season with Oklahoma City, you don't have enough creation outside of Anthony Edwards. 2 bigs is not. It's very hard to be effective like that. Very, very hard. And I don't think Sabonis and Embiid, if you move off of Maxey, who's the creator?
Yeah.
Again,
See, if Harper pans out.
So how you gonna get Harper and Sabonis if you're trading?
I just said, damn, son. I said just trading up. If you trading up,
Right. But then what are you trading for Sabonis? Okay, like
shit, you might get the if you traded Maxey to Sacramento, you might get the picks. Fuck you talk about. Maxey right now might be a better player than Sabonis.
Okay, so what do you trade to get up to number 2?
I'll trade a pick. I'm not trading no more players. I'll trade a pick.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you can only trade so. Okay, so what are you trading to get number 2? Obviously, you're swapping the 2 and 3 pick, but you're gonna want more if you're San Antonio.
Yeah,
like it's just not realistic to get Harper and Sabonis. Is what
you
I'm
give
saying.
up 2 number 2s.
I wouldn't do that.
I would.
If you're San Antonio, you to add in that's a tough ask considering that San Antonio already has Wembanyama, Fox, Castle, and then we have the number 2
But
pick.
that's what I'm saying. I think San Antonio could get more out of it because they don't really. They
don't need Harper either. Dylan Harper.
Oh damn!
Exactly. They're not trading that. That's my point. At the number 2 pick, they had Dylan Harper.
They could have traded that.
They could have, but we're not looking to. We're looking to add them in. Like I said, now you
because they got Castle,
Fox,
they got
Harper,
Fox.
Wembanyama, a good young core.
No, but they got somebody else over there too.
Vassell, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. They got a squad.
Yeah, they didn't really need no wing help.
They didn't. Honestly, what are you going to draft? I mean, they got everything. If we're being honest, not that they're healthy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And they were lucky to fall into the number 2 pick. All right, let's take Dylan Harper. The same way you saying like that's the guy you would take if you're a team. San Antonio thinking that same thing. So we're gonna add him to the roster.
I don't really like that. I would have went with more of a vet if I was San Antonio.
So you would have traded Dylan Harper for a vet.
Yeah.
What type of vet are you looking at?
Shit, I would have got some picks with CJ McCollum.
These niggas love CJ McCollum, bro. Love CJ McCollum, bro.
Nah, bro. You think about that shit with him playing with De'Aaron Fox? That's gonna be like him playing with Dame again. Okay. And then you talk about putting Wemby in the paint. Now who laughing? That'll be that and Castle. Come on, bro.
It's not that CJ McCollum wouldn't be a good fit. It's just find it funny that time after time you keep bringing this nigga up
because because he's good at what he do.
Yeah, like Jrue Holliday. Anywho,
nigga, Jrue Holliday ain't no scorer.
He's a champion 2 times,
bro. Nigga, Steve Kerr's a champion. The fuck that mean? Steve Kerr, champion.
Yeah,
3 times.
He hit the shot.
What do that mean?
Yeah, he hit a shot.
What do that mean? You talking about he's a two? Come on, man.
That's actually helps my argument because somebody like Steve Kerr is a person that you put in a moment where Michael Jordan's going to swing. He trusts you to knock down a shot you're not getting.
Yeah, what you was about to say
now it's quiet.
Before that.
Ace Bailey goes 5 to the Jazz. How do we feel about that?
I don't think that's a good fit for him.
What's a good fit? Because, he didn't want to work out with any team because he felt like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. With his attitude and shit, he got to be big lights. Or he got to be – I don't see San Antonio either. That little – damn.
Where was you supposed to go?
He wanted to go to either the Pelicans, Brooklyn, or
Yeah,
Toronto.
he not falling all the way down there.
Right. He went 5 to Utah.
Yeah, but he's going to hate that. That's like sending Ja Morant to Utah. He going to want out of there. Mormons and all of that. Cut it out. He wants out.
Hey, they tank one more year. They get AJ the Monster, bro? That'll be crazy.
AJ's nice, but the tanking is...
Yeah, but who's going to... another year? Utah they've been...
Yeah, they've been trash since Donovan Mitchell left. Like, actually, it ain't no type of transition. Like, they've actually been trash.
I like my son over there, though. Collins.
John Collins?
Yeah.
He could hoop.
Tough, though.
Anthony Edwards killed. Every time I hear John Collins, I think about that.
Whatever.
Nah, it's not that he can't hoop. I liked him when he was in Atlanta. He posted Embiid, too. He's nice, but, do you know if, what's his name? We just talked about him. Derek Queen. Did he get drafted?
Yeah, he got drafted at 13. He comes to Atlanta.
Derek Queen to the Hawks?
Yeah, but I think they were saying they was going to trade a pick, so I'm not sure. But
They need to trade him.
But they have all the traded picks on here, so no, it looks
Yeah.
like it's still in Atlanta.
They might trade him tomorrow or something.
They do not need him.
Yeah, I don't really see Derek Queen fitting with the Hawks. Who else is? Yeah, Jeremiah Fears. Did Jeremiah Fears go?
He going to New Orleans at 7.
I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, I'll do top 10. Top 10.
Okay.
Cooper Flag 1.
Of course.
San Antonio took Dylan Harper at 2.
Right.
BJ Edgecombe 3.
Right.
Con Knipple at 4.
Con Knipple went 4?
Con Knipple went 4.
Trash.
What in the yo?
Hey, I don't give a fuck.
No, he could hoop. He went 4.
Trash.
You took Conklin before Ace Bailey?
That would have been crazy. But Ace Bailey and Brandon Miller, they kind of
Okay. Conklin just Reed Shepard all over again.
And then we
Trash.
And then we got Ace Bailey 5, Jeff. Trey Johnson.
That's him.
Trey Johnson at number 6 going to.
Trey Johnson's tough.
Yeah,
From Texas, right?
Yeah. Jeremiah Fears 7 in New Orleans.
Okay.
Edgar Demin, he got BYU, the 6'8" Russian dude.
Okay.
He going to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Number 9, Colin Murray Boyles, South Carolina, 6'7".
Okay.
That's how you going to Toronto.
And who's 10?
Common Willach.
The dude. Yeah. What team?
Houston. He got traded to Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah, good. There you go. Oh.
I think Phoenix gonna move off of Jalen Green.
Houston don't need him. Nah, no, they not.
They got okay.
That kind of changed Phoenix though, because they did need another.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so look, do you think that Phoenix keeps Book, Bill, and Green?
Nah, Bill gone.
He has a no trade clause.
Yeah, but they already said it. He
has
said
no
it.
trade clause.
Yeah, but he wants to leave, so he's going to agree to it. He wants out of there.
I don't know.
If they don't get rid of him, that's stupid. They gonna need a guard now.
Right. Okay, I guess. Okay, I think that's interesting. I think the two most interesting things I heard were the Duke big going to Phoenix and Jeremiah Fears going to New Orleans, because we just talked about how they need that guard.
That's why I said I didn't know who they got, but that's probably why they got rid of CJ.
Right, knowing they was eyeing Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, Jeremiah Fears is
But
nice.
it ain't smart because Portland did that shit.
What you mean?
When Portland got rid of Dame and they drafted Scoot. They
thought Scoot was the one.
They thought Scoot was
Yeah, they thought he was.
Yo, they thought I ain't go front.
I thought he was
me
too.
too.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
I thought it was tough, bro.
Okay, so yeah.
No, because but you know what? I'm not gonna lie though. This year though, this was the best I seen him play.
He's getting better, but he's just not who he was.
Yeah, we thought he was gonna be nice.
Yeah, we thought he was like the one.
You know what he remind me of now, but nah, I can't really say it. He kind of reminds me of like a Marcus Smart, but with like more offensive moves though.
That's not crazy.
Like with
Intensity.
Yeah, because that nigga is intense, bro.
Yeah. I played against him in high school.
And he mad big for a point. Like for a point, like he's
dude.
no freaky.
Yeah, nah, he be frying. He be frying shit for sure. I think Jeremiah. So last thing, do you think you trade? I mean, not trade. Do you run Jeremiah Fears at the one off rip, or let Jordan Poole be the guy and kind of Jeremiah Fears ease into it?
Nah, Jordan Poole is not the one. He is.
No, I'm saying like point guard. Yeah,
nigga. I meant it both ways.
So you
is
put
not
Jeremiah,
the one, and he is not the one. You know what I'm saying?
So you starting Jeremiah Fears off rip.
Facts. I'm sitting him down early. Soon as he listen, we need growth quick. We need Jordan Poole at the 2.
Okay.
Or we out of here, man.
All right. We'll see y'all guys next week with another great generational debate. I'm gonna cook this nigga somewhere.
Man, you ain't cooking shit.